Compared to some franchises, the Kindersley Klippers are relatively young. However, those who have been involved with the team over the past 22 years can attest that the Klippers are steeped in a very rich history. From early days as a struggling new team, to a provincial powerhouse at the turn of the millennium, to a temporary relocation after a disaster 10 years later, the organization has packed a lot into 2 decades of on-ice memories. Over the years, there have been many children growing up in the community who have looked up to the Klippers and dreamed of one day being a part of the team. There have also been many players who have moved to Kindersley as teenagers and upon arrival learned that they are now a part of something much bigger than a junior hockey team. They become a part of our team. Shayne Neigum was born and raised in Kindersley and rarely missed a Klippers game when he was growing up. As a teenager, he was finally given the opportunity to put on the Klippers sweater.
It's an honor to throw that crest on, and you know, there's a lot of rich history in that Clipper sweater, and a lot of good people, a lot of good coaches and players have come through the system.
Josh Sim didn't grow up in Kindersley watching the Klippers, but when he moved to his new community to play for the team, he quickly learned what hockey meant to the town.
Well, I know, like when I first came over, I think the year before, 2 years before, they won the league and went on the Anavit, and it was awesome. The atmosphere was, and the rink was, crazy in the old barn there, and then we moved across to the other rink there, but it was still great, and the support was just, it was awesome.
In those years immediately prior to when Sim joined the Klippers, Neigum saw firsthand the atmosphere that had a growing reputation all around the league.
Honest to God, it could not have been a fun place to come, because the junior Klippers, I'm thinking back to the, say, early 2000s, maybe the late 90s. I remember that far back. That building was kind of iconic within the SJHL, along with North Battleford. What a rivalry. When Battleford come to town, you didn't miss those games. It was not a fun building because Kindersley housed some very tough, very legitimate guys, and they made it hard on you. They made it not a fun place to show up to.
With this year's Kramer Division Championship, the Klippers will have home ice advantage for at least the first 2 rounds of playoffs, and it's an opportunity for fans to show that this is a hockey town. Neigum knows that this year's nationally ranked team has a good chance to make a playoff push.
And they got a heck of a team, and they could string together a bit of a run here, go a few rounds, and I think that rink's going to fill up.
For Sim, he knows that the tradition is already there, and there is nothing like the playoffs to bring the town together.
The Klippers, I played there for a few years, and there's a lot of good tradition there. There's a lot of good hockey players, got a lot of good local talent, and hopefully, they can go deep in the playoffs here, and I think that'll, get people out in the stands and, turn this around.
Tune in tomorrow for episode 4 of Our Team as we feature a former coach and a current broadcaster and billet who have seen the many different ways that the team impacts the community. For West Central Online, I'm Trevor Redden.